So today I'm playing with Angelina Fibers. I've had a lot of my students ask me about them, and they are so much fun, and I have used them in a lot of my art quilts. They give you whatever applique piece you want to use it for, a little bit of iridescence and a little bit of fun. You can swirl them. I'll show you some of the things that I've finished. I swirled two colors together with this one. This was a gold and a white. And then I did a green one over here somewhere too. This color is peacock with gold. And the funny thing about them, and the one thing that is an inconsistent, is this is also the same peacock. And you can see that it's much more vibrant in blue and gold. And the backside's kind of a funky color. You never know what color you're really gonna get. You know, it's mixable. So that's sort of a fun part about it. You can also take another color and you can embed so that you have like something, you know, like a weird shape in the middle. And you can also do textures, which I will show you in just a little bit. So I'm just gonna show you how this is done, this part here. So I have it wispy on the ends, which will give it more of a translucency, and it's a little denser here, which will make it a little more dense and a little more opaque when it's done. I've laid it on one side of a pressing sheet. This is a Mylar pressing sheet. I love these. They are so wonderful. They last forever. You can also use parchment paper, and then you just take your iron and you press it. And you just want to give it a good pressing on a hot iron. You can't overheat these. You can't ruin them really. But once you have ironed them, they will not go back to the original form. So this is the way to do that. And then you can flip it if you want to make sure that you're getting, you know, full melting on both sides. Because sometimes if you don't do that, the bottom side that you didn't heat will feel a little fuzzier, which you may prefer. But if you don't, that would be how you would make that not happen. You should wait for it to cool. I'm not always that patient, but I do recommend that you do it. And you can see now how that came out. It flattens it. We're getting a lot of that peacock effect here. Very little of the white because it was the last thing I put down, and I put it over the peacock. So it's just peeking through. But you can also see that it has translucency like a nice web. The other thing that's really amazing about it is its strength. So you can sew right through it. Your needle will not hate it at all because it's not sticky or adhesive. You can cut the shapes, you can glue it to things, you can make them thicker and use them for tree ornaments. You really can do just about anything you want. I'm actually going to use little pieces of this to do owl's eyes, but I'm also going to paint on them as well. So there's so many different applications and things that you can do with it. The other thing I want to show you is how to do a texture. So I will take a nice leaf with really beautiful veins and lay it right on my pressing sheet. Then I'm gonna take my Angelina Fibers and I'm gonna actually try to spread them out thin at first so that I can see that I'm getting a pretty even spreading of them. And then we'll probably go back and put a little bit more over them just to have it be a little denser so that it really shows the veins in the leaf. But I've done this with pieces of lace. You can do it with tree bark. I mean, you can really iron any really nice texture into it. If it's a really small scale texture, it won't show as well. That's why I like that leaf, because its veins were pretty prominent. So that's another thing to just keep in mind. And now I'm going to just fold that over, and I'm going to iron that. You can actually see the imprint of the leaf on the pressing sheet. And on this one, I am going to turn it over because I just think that that will help really push the veins into the Angelina Fibers. And I'm going to flip it back over. And yes, wait for it to cool. And don't touch it. I just do that because I can't help myself, but it's not something I recommend. And then you can open it up, and probably you can already see it on the sheet. And then you can just peel it off, and there's your really cool embossed leaf into your Angelina Fibers. And you can see the colors are a little bit different. It's a little matte white on the back. In the front, you're getting like all this rainbow effect. Like I said, there's inconsistency with the colors, but you can get pretty close to what they are. We have so many different varieties of colors, and you can mix them and match them, and they are all available on our website. And now there's an instructional video so that you can see how to do them.